Hemphill, and welcome to Dr. McGregor's Watermelon Greenhouse. Today I'm here to talk to you about proper seed extraction and preparation for cold storage. Saving seed is arguably one of the most important parts of a breeder's program. At some point you're going to have to save seed and grow it out for the next generation. Well, let's get started. First we need a ripe watermelon, and luckily we have one right over here. Alright, so here's our fruit. It's time to harvest this watermelon. Alright, so we're back at the lab, but before we can have fun with the seeds, we have to do a little bit of phenotyping. I know that's not everyone's favorite thing to do, but I promise you it's not too bad with the watermelon here. First, what we're going to do is create a seed collection file for the plant here. Now it's time we can finally get to extracting the seeds. I'm going to show you the best way to do this. First, we're going to go around the edge here. Just go around in a circle, and then we're going to cut down the middle and then break it up into little sections. I mean, you can do it different ways, but this is a pretty fast way to do it. So pretty much all you do is get your seeds out and try and keep all the flesh out of it that you can. It's going to save you a little bit of time. And put them in this strainer here, because we're going to have to wash them off. And this can take a while, so what we're going to do is I'll see you whenever I get these out of here, and then we'll rinse them off. So we're just going to run some water over the seeds and just get all that fruit juice off of them, some of the flesh. That way it doesn't get into the bleaching cup. So now we're going to come over here. We're going to put our seeds in our bleaching cup. And a couple more in here. Let's see. There we go. And then we're going to add our 10% bleach for 10 minutes. And we don't want to add too much. You don't want to waste it, but you just need enough to cover the seeds. So we're going to start our timer here and add the bleach. So there we go, that's plenty. Alright, so that's going to sit there for 10 minutes. And you may be asking, why 10% bleach, why 10 minutes? Well, the goal is to sterilize the seed coat of the seed. That way you don't have any mold or mildew growth in storage, or mold or mildew problems whenever you first germinate the seeds again. If you have a more concentrated bleach content, you can damage the seed coat, and it can even kill the embryo. And then if you let them soak for longer than 10 minutes, you can have over-penetration of that solution, and it can get into the embryo and kill it as well. And this combination here has just been found through experimentation to be a good ratio per time. Alright, so we're going to let that sit there for about 10 minutes, and we'll be back. Let's go ahead and take them over here to the sink. We're going to strain out all the bleach. There's some still stuck in there. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to rinse them thoroughly of all the bleach. We're going to come over here. We're going to dab off a little bit of water just so we don't get everything wet. We need to dry the seeds. So we need to make sure that they're spread evenly here. And again, you got to make sure the barcode are with your seeds, because usually you're doing a couple of plants and you really just don't want to get them mixed up. Alright, so now we're going to sit up here for 1 to 2 days until they're fully dry. You know they're fully dry just by whenever they're done. You can rub your fingers over the top of them and rub your fingers together, and if your fingers are wet, they're not dry enough, and if they're dry, you're good to go. We really don't have to worry about over drying them using room temperature. Some people like to use ovens. You can get yourself in a bad situation doing that. You can, cook you up some watermelon seeds. We're not trying to do that. And you don't want the seeds to be too wet, because in storage, that's just going to promote more mold and mildew. And we'll be back in 1 to 2 days when those are done drying. Okay, there we go. And again, we need the barcode, the number for these. There we go. We'll get our camera out and take a picture for the plant file. Now we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and put our seeds in the envelope and make the final steps to put them in the cold storage. Alright, let's walk over here. Remember, keep your barcode with you. And we're going to write the number right here on the envelope. It got the 10% bleach treatment, so we're going to put that there. And then the number of seeds, I went ahead and counted them. There's 55 seeds. Then we're going to place our label on our packet, in the top right-hand corner. All right, those are ready to go for the cold storage. Here's box number 16, found it right here. So we'll just open it up and place the seeds inside. That way, whenever we want to find them, we'll just look in its plant file and see what box they're in. So this is a cooler. The temperature inside is 4 degrees Celsius or 39 degrees Fahrenheit. It's at a humidity about 30%. In the bins there's some dehumidifying powder, and it's going to keep the humidity a little bit lower than that. The whole goal of this is to mimic seed dormancy. We want these seeds to last as long as possible. And doing it this way is going to allow the seeds to be viable for about 3 years before you start seeing some germination percentage deficits. So why 4 degrees? Why this humidity? Again, it mimics dormancy, but if the humidity is too high, it can promote some fungal growth like mold or mildew, and if it's too low, it can actually dehydrate the seeds. Same thing with the temperature. We want to get as close to freezing as possible without freezing. 4 degrees Celsius is actually the temperature in which water is the most dense. So once we get at a temperature below that, water that exists in the seed can actually expand and kill the embryo. And if it's any warmer than that, the metabolic rate can speed up and germination ratios won't be quite right. And mold or mildew could also result in that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you learned something today. That's all I have for you. You can see that extracting and processing seeds is a time-consuming thing. There's a lot of waiting and there's a lot more phenotyping than you'd think. But I assure you it's a very important thing. If you do it right, it'll lead you to a more successful breeding program. Well, I'll see you next time.